Alright guys, welcome to this page of the notes, and what we're going to do here is use this idea of composite functions to help us figure out a problem. Now this problem is given to us in a word problem, and so we're going to have to kind of work our way through the word problem to write our own functions and then use those functions to help us answer the question that we're being asked. So let's real quick, first of all, take a look at the problem that we've been asked to solve. Tyrone Davis has $180 deducted from every paycheck going toward retirement. So every time he gets paid, he takes $180 out of it, which he puts into some sort of retirement account. Now, here's the way it works. He can either have the $180 taken out of his check before taxes are applied, or he can have the $180 taken out of his check after he pays his taxes. Okay, now, that depends on the different types of retirement accounts. Believe me, you always have to pay your taxes. The government must get its money one way or another. You can either pay the taxes ahead of time, so you would pay your taxes, then put money into retirement, so it's already been taxed. That means you have a retirement account with money that's already been taxed, and so when you retire, you just pull the money out of the retirement account and you're not going to be taxed on it a second time. You paid the tax when you put it in. If you have the money deducted first, you take the money out, put it into an account, and then pay your taxes on what's left over. You now have a retirement account that has money in it that has not been taxed. Which means when you retire and you start to pull money out of your retirement account, then the government will take its taxes on that retirement account. The way that you would want to decide now or later, again, this is just my personal opinion, but I have the taxes taken out first, then put money into the retirement account. For this reason, I know what the tax rate is now. I know what the tax rate is right now versus what is the tax rate going to be in the future, right? If you get somebody in office who raises taxes right about the time you retire, well, tough luck. You're now paying a higher tax rate on that retirement money than you would have if you had been taxed on it prior to putting the money into the retirement account, right? So I'll pay my taxes now while I know what the rate is. Sure, if when I retire the tax rate is lower, that was just kind of the risk I took. So it's a risk either way, right? But I guess I just prefer, I know what the tax rate is now versus not knowing what it's going to be in the future, which is probably higher. And you don't want to pay that higher tax rate once you're retired. Go ahead and pay your taxes now. That way when you retire, you can just pull your money out and you don't have to worry about paying tax on it. But that's neither here nor there, nor does it have anything to do with the problem. What we're being asked to do is we're told that Tyrone pays a federal income tax rate of 18%. If Tyrone's paychecks, every paycheck is $2,200, what we're asked to do is find the difference. Figure out how much money, right? What is the difference in his paycheck if he has taxes taken out before putting money in the retirement account or putting money in the retirement account and then paying his taxes on his income. So let's go ahead and set this problem up. There's two different functions going on here. First, Tyrone is paying taxes on what he makes, and Tyrone is having a deduction, right? He's putting $180. He's having that deducted from his pay and putting that into a retirement account. So the two equations we're going to write are the equations for the taxes and the equation for the deduction, all right? So T for taxes and D for deduction. Again, you can name the functions anything you want to, but because I can name them anything I want to, I'll name one T for taxes and D for deductions. You could certainly name them f of x and g of x like we've been doing, or h of x and k of x, and whatever. Name them whatever you want, but T and D makes sense to me. Now, here's the way that taxes work, right? Tyrone makes $2,220, but we're going to ignore his salary at the moment, and we're just going to say whatever Tyrone makes, X, his salary. So Tyrone makes X dollars, but he gets taxed on that, right? So his tax rate is 18% of whatever amount he's making. So from the amount of money that he made, which is his gross income, right? On your paycheck, there's two different categories. There's your gross pay and then your net pay, right? Gross is what you actually earned. Net is what you take home after your taxes have come out and your deductions have come out, right? Net is what you actually put into the bank. Gross is what you made, but then everybody takes their portion of it, and net is what you take home. So X is his gross pay, right? This is what he made, but then taxes come out. So I have to subtract 0.18. Remember, you have to turn a percentage into a decimal, right? And we're going to tax him 18% on the gross amount that he made. All right, so if you make $100 and you get taxed 18%, right? That means that of that $100, the government is going to take 18 of those dollars. So your gross pay is 100. But what do you actually take home? Well, you're going to get taxed $18, right? So the government's going to take $18 and you actually go home with $82. Your net pay is going to be $82. So this is what Tyrone actually makes. This is his gross, but this is what he gets taxed on. So you take his gross minus what he gets taxed, and you get his net pay, what he actually takes home. But Tyrone does more than that. He's then going to put $180 into retirement. The question we're trying to answer is, does Tyrone want to put that $180 into retirement before he gets taxed, or put that into retirement after he gets taxed? Either way, Tyrone is going to do a deduction where Tyrone takes his pay, whatever it is, and he subtracts $180. Now, we're going to set up two functions, right? Remember, Tyrone can do this one of two ways. He can either take out the deduction and then pay his taxes, or Tyrone can pay his taxes and then take out the deduction. The way this works is Tyrone can do T of D of X. This is where Tyrone first takes out the deduction and then pays his taxes. Or Tyrone can do D of T of X, which is where Tyrone pays his taxes and then takes out his deduction. And that's what we've been asked to figure out. What is the difference? So here we go. Let's go ahead and figure that out. I've written my two equations, right? And here we go. I want to plug D of X into T. So I need to start with T. My T of X is equal to X minus 0.18x. I'm now going to plug D of X into that, right? So it's going to be D of X minus 0.18 D of X. Sorry, I forgot. I apologize. Hold up. I forgot my parentheses. I'm just writing dx, and that is not a function notation. Dx is actually a calculus term. It's the differential with respect to x. I apologize for those calculus kids who recognize that. There we go. So I want the function g of x, not the differential of x. Very, very different things. One is algebra, one is calculus. So d of x. Okay, so now that I've set this up, I know what d of x is. It's x minus 180. So t of d of x is equal to x minus 180 minus 0.18 times x minus 180. And again, remember what this is this is Tyrone first taking the deduction. So Tyrone is putting money into a retirement account untaxed, right? He's doing the deduction, and then he's being taxed on what's left over, which means he's putting his retirement money into an account before taking the tax out. So when he retires and starts to pull that money out, then he'll have to pay the tax. Okay? So he's taking the deduction, then paying his taxes. All right? Over here, we're going to take out the taxes, right? He's going to get taxed, then do the deduction. So the money that's going into the retirement account has already been taxed. So when he retires, he can just pull the money out. He doesn't have to worry about paying taxes. All right, so here we go. I know that Tyrone makes $2,200 each pay. So let's plug that in. Okay, plug this into your calculator. Don't fat finger something on your calculator. 2,200 minus 180 would be 2,020. Again, same thing over here. Oh, hold up. That is a really bad 180. I apologize. There we go. I did it again. Hang on. There we go. Okay. 2,200 minus 180 again is going to be 2,020, which I would then multiply by 0.18. And so what I wind up with is 2,020 minus whatever this comes out to be. And again, the result is going to be $1,656.40. Again, what you just found is his net pay. This is what Tyrone would take home if he had the $180 taken out and then paid his taxes. All right? $1,656.40. He deducts $180, that goes into retirement, then he pays his taxes on what's left over. Let's go ahead and do the other one. This is the one where Tyrone is first going to be taxed, then he's going to take out the deduction. So here we go. First, I need d of x. Then I'm going to do d of t of x. So everywhere I have an x, I plug in t of x. So I'm going to plug in an x minus 0.18x and then minus 180. All right, Tyrone makes $2,200 per pay period. So dt of x is equal to 2,200 minus 0.18 times 2,200. Again, remember the way this works. What Tyrone is doing is Tyrone is first paying his taxes, right? This represents, right, the amount of money taken out in taxes. Then Tyrone is putting $180 into a retirement account after he has paid his taxes. So it's on money that's already been taxed. dt of x is equal to, plug that into your calculator, don't fat finger something, $1,624.00. Now, keep in mind what you were asked to do. You were asked to find the difference in his net pay. Find the difference in what Tyrone takes home. So here we go, the difference. $1,656.40 minus $1,624.00 means a difference of $32.40. This is the difference. Right? And what is that difference? Well, here's the difference. If Tyrone, right, first puts $180 into retirement, then pays his taxes, he'll actually come home with an additional $32.40 versus paying his taxes and then putting $180 into retirement. But keep in mind, yes, he's bringing home more pay by doing the deduction than paying taxes. However, the risk he's running is that in the future, there's a higher tax rate and he would wind up being taxed more later than he would have been taxed now. Of course, it certainly could go the other way. The tax rate could go down, in which case Tyrone is a huge winner because he's bringing home more money in his paycheck and then later paying less in taxes after he's retired. Again, that's really kind of up to the individual and what you decide to do. Get taxed now, get taxed later. It's kind of the gamble that you take depending on what happens with particular tax rates when you happen to retire. But we've answered the question, what is the difference in pay? Well, $32.40 is the difference in pay for Tyrone. Guys, I have another word problem just like this one on the next page of the notes, dealing with composite functions, except it has to do with a sale at a store. Head on over to that page of the notes and I'll meet you guys there.